I felt like I'd always see the sunset behind here. This thing here was sort of setting just like the sun does, and it landed here, and I guess to make it look like it was sinking, it needed to be tilted, and I think if you just made it flat, like a square box, parallel, it wouldn't have the same feeling.
When we moved here, we were both newspaper artists. I mean, I never pictured us doing sculptures and...
Yeah, it's a lot about who you meet, who you talk to in town, and I guess people knew about us, and you talk about ideas and things, and then somebody just says, hey, you want to do such and such, and you're like, okay. In 2014, we collaborated on a sculpture for the Junebug event, and that was a large arch type of structure that it was too big to go on the sidewalk where most of the sculptures went, so it was the first time that something got put in front of Borough Hall, which was really exciting. And it was an interactive sculpture where people got to add to it as time went on.
To resemble a vine, but it was made out of metal, and we had all these leaves, and residents could draw or write messages and hang them on the arch, and so it became really like a really important, like, beautiful community thing.
No, the original post was an open
call for a pavilion design.
Right, it was a temporary pavilion design for Imagination Alley. They gave the restrictions on size, and they told what it was to be used for. You know, hopefully to have poetry and events and things like that. So that was the only parameters that they gave. I used to build furniture and things like that, so I was used to. You know, I know how to build things and to draw them and do the whole three-dimensional part of it. So taking furniture in a different track was a challenge. And I was like, all right, something more abstract. It's not, a dresser or a table. This is something that has feeling to it and, needs to attract people. And it was very different, and I'm glad I took that step, and I like where it's going.
We had no idea that it would turn out to be like, more of an art piece. It took on a life of its own with the, it just became more than a stage. It seems like it's a three-dimensional painting, and everybody wants to just kind of get in it and pose.
A lot of people comment, I always get the thing like, why is it tilted? And I kind of feel like, well, if I didn't, you probably wouldn't ask that question. If it was just square, no one would ask the question or wonder why. So. Or
they step into it and see some people are like, whoa,
Yeah, because everything's canted a little bit, and so it makes you feel off balance.
It challenges your perspective, even more, which is what art should do.
Yeah. It's really gratifying to take something that you draw out, all the dimensions, and you kind of figure in your head how you're going to do it and the steps you're going to take. And you really don't know if it's really going to work if you've never done it before. So when you finally get to this point, for me, I'm just like elated. I'm just like, it almost gives me goosebumps. I'm like, I can't believe it actually worked. Like, I drew this up, my idea, and built it, and it all came out just like I planned, which was kind of weird.
Yeah, it just
looks
hit you.
Really cool.
You knew you really hit it. Something.
So at that point, I was like, yeah, this is going to be cool.
We were so excited that we walk every evening in town just for exercise, and we just started coming down every evening just to check on it. We were like, we just want to see it again. And every time we
check
came
on our
down,
baby.
Yeah, there would be people in it. They'd be looking at it, talking about it, stepping in it, just sitting here like a little fly on the wall in the alley, listening to people was really fun and interesting.
Yeah. Nothing can stay the same. If it stays the same, it's going to die. So it needs to change, it needs to grow. And I think this is a little bit of fertilizer to help that. And you can see, this is very traditional, Ed's thing. And you have mine, which is modern, and the two can coexist.
They complement each other.
Yeah, they complement each other, and it's great.